today we are on another episode of this our live we're doing, and today we have a new guest in our studio, and I would like her to introduce herself. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello everyone. My name is Kemi. I'm an educator. I've been an educator for more than 12 years, and I'm also a parent. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Okay, ma'am. So, we would like you to talk about your experience as a mother and a teacher.
Okay. All right. My experience as a mother and a teacher. Okay. I would like to talk on what is a mother. A mother is a female with children. Okay, so who is a teacher? A teacher is one who imparts knowledge. Okay, people, be it a child or an adult. That is what a teacher is. And the two are somehow related. In fact, they are related. Being a mother, being a teacher, the relationship between the two is both are grooming. Yes, both a mother, both teacher, they groom children, they groom people around them. Okay, so or groom people that are committed to, and also the first teacher of a child is the mother, starting from birthing the child, breastfeeding, and nurturing the child. A teacher nurtures, yes, nurture every child in their care, in their surroundings. Okay, so being a teacher and a mother are correlate. They correlate together, and will I say it's easy? Yeah. Eventually, you're going to balance yourself actually when you're a teacher and a mother. I might say it's not easy in the first place, but being a teacher, you're disciplined in the point that your profession, the ethics in your profession, goes with discipline. So in no time, you gain your ground and you'll be able to balance being a mother and a teacher together. Okay, because like I said in the first place that that there is a relationship between the two. Okay, so a teacher does a job maybe in the forward of the classroom, and also a mother goes into a job, a daily routine in the forward of the house. Okay, and like I said, both nurtures. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, I have a question. As a mother, how can you relate with your children? Because there are some mothers that they think that if they are strict with their children, that's when their children can obey them. Because I remember when I was still young, I think I was still around 5, when I didn't know how to read. I was like from school, they're really strict with me in school and also at home. So when it's time for lessons, I'll go there, and if I don't know how to read it, so my teacher will be like, I'll flog with them, I'll run back home, I'll press the bell and come back. So I was always running and coming, running. I didn't know where to go. So I don't know that kind of situation. What can you do?
Okay. As a mother, there is something I'll put first, and that is balancing. There is a way you will balance everything around your children. You will not be too strict. At the same time, you will be a disciplined mother. Okay? So, like the example you gave now, you said you run in the class, and when you get home, you'll still be beaten. Okay, as a professional teacher, we are not encouraged to beat a child. We don't beat. We don't use the cane in the forward of classroom. We don't beat children. We have other ways and other methods. We encourage children to sit up to what they are being taught. At the same time, even in the home too, everything is not about beating. I know the Bible says spare the child and spare the rod and spoil the child, but there is a way you can balance it. Everything is not all about beating. Even the word we say goes a very long way in chastising children and helping them to be upright.
So another question is that Is it good for your child to like is it good for your child to know your dialect, like to speak your dialect? Because my grandma is always like speak Yoruba to me, don't speak English. I don't it's not as if she doesn't understand, she understands, but she's always like speak Yoruba to me.
Okay, it's very, very good for your child to be able to speak your language. Yeah, because English is a formal language. But the first language acquisition of a child is the the language of the parents. That's the first language the child will encounter. And English is a general language whereby when you go here and there, you hear people speaking the English. But let me give an example. Like I'm a Yoruba person, and when my child was growing, even the grannies are like, can this girl speak Yoruba like this? And actually, my daughter can't speak Yoruba in the first place, but she can understand everything they say in Yoruba because we speak Yoruba in the house. So, of course, she has to grasp what we are saying, but she cannot speak it. But as time goes on, she started speaking Yoruba and she can speak English as well. So, it's good for your child to be able to speak in your dialect. It's a plus for the child. The child will know how to speak two languages. And if there is more opportunity, the child can speak like three or four, like Hausa language and any other language that the child can. But at the moment, the child will be able to speak both Yoruba and English. It's a plus for the child, and it's very, very good. And also, I remember one of my children that I take for home lessons, they are Igbos, but she could not speak the Igbo. And the grandma stays with them. The mother is a banker, the father is also a banker. They're not always around, but they speak English at all times. And I'm like, wow, really? So these children will only know how to speak English. And they are in the environment whereby they can speak this Igbo. And I called the grandma, I said, please, ma, kindly encourage these children to speak in their dialect. Already they can speak English. Let them know how to speak their Igbo. Like, if you want to send them to the kitchen, you can tell them, pick up in the kitchen. You say it in your language. Let them go into the kitchen and get a cup, and just let them have idea about what their language is all about.
Thank you for answering the question. So there is another question, and the question is, for example, if two parents, like for example, if a parent they are having misunderstanding,
Okay.
what's my position? Like for example, if I see that mommy is sad and I go and meet her and she's like, is your daddy? Am I supposed to side her?
Okay.
Or I'm supposed to I don't know, how am I supposed to do
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Because there's sometimes that for my own mom, like go and meet her and tell her that mommy, what happened between her, that she'll be like, what's your business? It's none of your business, you said it's supposed to know. So in that kind of situation, what can you do?
Wow. Okay. In that kind of situation, I believe in neutral. I believe in when you're neutral. Okay. What I mean by being neutral is you don't side mommy, you don't side daddy. Okay. Just know that there are differences will be sorted between them. Okay. Let me give you an example. When I was growing up, and my mom, maybe my mom had an issue. In fact, my mom doesn't even have issue. Like if someone abused my mom, okay, and and I was fighting on behalf of my mother. Okay, let me use it that way. Like how will you talk to my mom that way? If my mom comes back and I was saying, and someone said, oh, your daughter fought today. Oh, you are insulted because my mom will have gone to the market and she doesn't expect her to come back and meet one talk like there is this, there is that. She doesn't even want to hear that. All she wants to do is have a bath, have a chance if necessary with the children and go and rest. And someone is coming to say, oh, Kemi made trouble. And I was trying to defend myself that, oh, I was fighting for you. Like I was trying to tell her, my mommy will have beaten to that for me. And my mommy will tell me that abuse that person abused me, is it on my body? Has it stained me? Can you see it on my body? I will say no. I said, and then she will tell me, don't fight for me. And I remember my aunt, one of my aunts told me that when your mommy or your sister is having an issue with someone, don't ever interfere by supporting your own sister or your mother. Be at the middle, be neutral. And that's while I was going because there are a lot of things attached to that. and I grasped that knowledge and I'm onto it even till now. And that is what I'm teaching my child now, that you don't interfere in people's fights. There is a reason for them to have that you know that misunderstanding, and eventually they will sort it by themselves. So it is not nice for you as a third party to interfere in such matter.
Okay, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. So now, what about teachers? As a teacher, is it good to be strict? Because there are some teachers that they are strict, that any small thing they can slap you. Because there was no time when I was in GS2, there was a teacher that always using as an example, and everybody would laugh at me. And she's always fast at slapping, hitting people on their head. And, because there's even one day they said that there was a boy in primary two that the teacher always beat the boy. So the teacher wanted to beat the boy. She mistakenly used the cane to beat the boy. So the boy is now blind. They now put an artificial eye. So what can you do?
Okay, any teacher that cannot control her emotion or his emotion is not fit to be a teacher, because it is unethical for a teacher to beat children or to nag at children in the school. When you nag at children, you affect them negatively. When you nag at children, you kill their confidence. When you nag at children, you kill their morale. In such a way, such child will not be able to, to learn or to bring up her light. Okay, let me put it that way. And for every teacher that releases her anger on children, what a pity. Honestly, I pity such teachers, because it obviously knows that, or shows that they are not professional enough to be in this line. Because you don't beat a child. When you beat a child, you beat the confidence out. When you beat a child, you kill their morale. So, and when a child's morale is down, some child will not be able to learn, to absorb whatever you have taught that child. And I can remember when I was in school, there are some teachers that you will not like them. And when you don't like such teachers, you are likely not to like the subject. Okay? Yes, you're likely not to like the subject. So what do I tell my child? Anytime she says, mommy, so beats me, mommy, I say, I'll always tell her, I'll say, one, I want you to know that you're in school to learn, and everybody's emotions are different, and also the way we handle matters are different. The way your mommy will handle matter will be different from the way Mr. Lambada in your class or Mrs. Lambada in your class will handle the matter. And I wouldn't want you not to face your study or not to put your mind in what that teacher is teaching you. Don't forget that you have promised to make mommy proud, and mommy needs to be proud of you. So you don't have to allow your emotion to be tampered by a teacher, maybe when you are being disciplined. And if you don't want to be disciplined, make sure you're upright in the school to the point that no teacher, I do post to my daughter, I do tell her, despite I attended public school, teachers in my school doesn't beat me. Like, oh, you did? No. The only time they beat me is the whole class. So I do use that to tell her. The reason why I am doing that is just for me to balance it for her in a way that we are different. The way we handle our emotions are what? Different. So when you meet someone that is in nag, that is not comported as a teacher, that is unethical as a teacher, should you lose it because you have met someone like that? No. You need to balance it and be upright.
Okay. I want to say something about the teacher.
Okay.
But I'm not going to mention the person's name. I don't even want to say about that person. This man is always, how am I going to put it now? Okay. For example, now, I noticed it when I was in, I think I was still in just 3. That was when I noticed that. So I used to see that anytime that any of our classmates bring snacks to the school or anything, the man would be like, bring it, let me see it. And later he says, bring it, let me see it. He put it in his bag. Break time, this man, he's not give this game back. So I now tried it, I brought popcorn already, and the man was like, bring it now. I was like, sir, this is what I'm going to eat to for short. He was like, so I cannot eat your snack. What are you telling me? All the teaching I've been teaching you, you people give me anything. So when I now give it to him, he didn't give me back that day. So I had to report to my mom. So what can we call that kind of teacher?
Okay. Well, like I said, such person is not is unethical of him to take things from children, yes, from the students in the class, and also I would say that he's an hungry man. Sorry, let me just say that, yes, he's a hungry man, and he lacks professionalism, yes, because in this profession, teachers are not beggars. That is the mistake a lot of teachers out there are making. Your charisma go a long way. Your charisma goes a very long way. Like, who are you? What kind of a teacher are you? Are you a teacher that begs the children? Are you a teacher that doesn't know your worth as a teacher? And when you're being employed, the money offered pays you. If it doesn't pay, you wouldn't have stayed at that place of work. Instead of you to pass your anger or your frustration on the children or on their snacks or on their food, I can even say boldly that such teacher is covetous. Yes. So if the pay is not good for you, you don't stay in that organization. You boost your knowledge and you acquire more skills. Like, people are looking for tech savvy teachers. If you are confident in what you do, you can earn more. That's even you'll be the one giving the children, because there is something we call reinforcement in the classroom. This reinforcement can come from clapping for the children, can come from you sharing lollipop for the children, can come from you sharing a biscuit to encourage the children. So as a teacher, it is inquired of you to spend your money, not for you to take from the student. That is very wrong. And I want to believe that the body in the organization, they are not strict enough, because I believe that in all schools now, and now in every classroom there is a CCTV camera in every classroom. So if any teacher misbehave, some teacher should be taken. Yeah. So that's unprofessional.
Okay, ma. So now what can we say about some male teachers that make advances as children? Because I remember when the school I left, the one I just left now, when I got there, the man is always the man is always writing my communication book. This girl is very smart. She likes opening her notes. All her notes is updated. And there was a day I was not really feeling too well, so I was in the eatery and I just put my head down on the table. So he came in first with my other partner, then my other partner that came to check me. Now we start upstairs, then he now came. So when I was asking that, are you okay? I was like, sir, I'm okay. Oh." He was like, okay, what happened to you? I was like, I'm having malaria. So, he started from my neck. He touched my hair. Like, the body is up. Are you sure? Before he started touching, and I was like, sir, stop. What is this? What's the meaning of this? Are you trying to harass me or what? So that was how I now left there. I told him I want to use the restroom. So I went to report to the owner of the school, and she called him. And this man denied everything that happened. But the owner of the school assistant now said that maybe I'm lying, that because nobody was my witness, I'm lying, that they should still leave the teacher. So as they now left the teacher in the school, the man now started writing. From the next to the man started writing, your child is so rude. Somebody that is always writing, this girl is writing, like, your child is so rude, she likes to hit children, she's this, she's that. So when my parents now started saying all of those things, I now told them everything that happened. So they now came to the school and complained. So they still left the man until this man tell you that this man also came to my house to come and see my dad. My dad has to chase him out. Then he's still going to do it again. Another before they believe me that all I'm saying is true. There's no girl, I didn't mention her name. She like she's not in my class. That time I was still in GS1. She was in 6 that time. So she used to tell me that Esther, this Mr. So is always doing this. I was like, are you sure? Why don't you set a camera in your house so that you can video everything out? So she now put it, she asked her brother to video something like that.
Are you
Okay.
sure I'm going to block him?
So as I was saying, that was how they now later believed me that was why they later believed me that the what I was saying was actually true. So it's now starting.
Wow,
That was the analysis.
wow, wow. Okay. Well, if I say that I've not experienced this in my line of work, I'll be lying. But how did we handle this kind of a case? Like I would say, you know, these days we have a lot of people that are not even that are not a trained teacher. Let me just put it that way. They are not trained, but maybe because lack of employment, some came into the teaching organization, and hence they could not go by the ethics of who a teacher is. They could not go by the ethics of a teacher. So if such happens, like I've had such experience in one of the places I've worked, and how did we handle this? Like you said, that it was put on camera. Yes, someone recorded him as well while he was, misbehaving. And another saw him, the security in my school saw him, and they even gave him a long rope, and he also abused that. Like, it's a head that could it truly be that this person is doing it? Because if you say he's very straight, he's firm, so you think that is how he is actually, but he isn't. So, and from there, he was just given a suspension, and from that suspension, he was relieved of his job. And I remember my daughter had such an experience, and when we talk about secondary school, sometimes vice versa. Yes, I'll still go back to my daughter's home. It's vice versa. We have some children that make advances at their teacher too. Like when I was teaching in a secondary school here in Nigeria, so I have my colleague. We stay in the staff room as a teacher and as teachers, and my colleague was telling me that, oh, this person was making advances at myself for real, students. I said, yes. I said, wow. I was so surprised. Like, why? And we have teachers too that do the same. But any teacher that did such should be arrested immediately. Like, yes. And I mentioned CCTV, that if there is a CCTV, maybe in the compound of the school as well as in the classroom, you will see that such teacher will not be covered, because definitely the camera will capture him in the act of doing such thing. So I remember my daughter stayed in, I saw her till after school. So one night, she said she wanted to come, she was downstairs. Maybe she wanted to go up and it was dark, maybe there was no power supply at that time. And one of the staff that stays in the staff quarter was not making advances at her that come. And she was scared as a child that come where now? Why should I come? Of all the things I do, I do teach her, and also we've talked about sex education, and so. And when she saw that, she said she was scared that she had to run upstairs. She ran upstairs and met a female teacher and waited there. So she could not tell the female teacher. But when I came that night to pick her as we're going, she was now explaining her experience like this. I said, really? I was mad. I said, for real? Immediately, I called the owner of the school that no, I first called the female teacher, and she was saying, no, that person is not like that. So I know my daughter. My daughter cannot lie, and I cannot just take my eyes away from this kind of a thing. It's not possible. And maybe, as a child, as I said, no, my child cannot fabricate this. I called the owner of the school immediately, and I'm like, what is all this? Is your school safe at all for my child to be there? And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, you have to do something about it. What's your sorry? You're sorry for what? If this guy had done something, will you be telling me you're sorry? Your school will be locked down. And the next day, the guy was not in that school again. I can't take it. So when a teacher or a staff is doing such, that teacher should be taken up immediately. Immediately, it shouldn't be tolerated. Like something happened in our school too. A child lied, and this lie is not just an ordinary lie, it's a big one. That my daughter, I think the child said my daughter took a blood sample, and I'm like, I couldn't keep calm. I am a teacher. I work in an organization as well. I work in international schools right from time. And I know how strict we are when it comes to such things. And I'm like, how can this girl and lie that you took a blood sample? Why? And the mother came the next day and harassed my child. And they called the adults, the owner of the school, the teacher, the mother. They called my daughter into their midst. As a child, she was fighting, she was scared, and was wondering what do they want to ask her. And they started interrogating my daughter. I wasn't there. But immediately she told me, I could picture what happened. I'm a teacher. I took it up immediately. I said, I want to see that mother. And I want to see that child that will go as far as saying that my daughter took a blood sample. No. Where did she see a syringe? How did she do it? They now call the girl. She doesn't say, no, she was just joking. I said, really? How can a child go this far? That's a lie. You don't lie on people like that. I took it up. The school, the head of school, the proprietor, they just started begging me. I said, this should not happen again. Because you are affecting the emotion of my child. And I need to stand up when necessary. So if there is a teacher doing something that is uncalled for, that teacher should be taken up immediately, without any delay.
And the last question that I'll ask is now, what can you say about students being bullied in their school as their classmates?
Okay, wow. Bully. Okay, as a teacher, even when I was taking the little one, the preschool, as small as they are, I don't tolerate bullying in my class. No. They know, Miss Kemi's class, no. Even my school, they know the standard I have created in my classroom and the four wall of the school as well. Maybe we took children out for play, and even if that child is not in my class, and we're on the playground, you cannot bully where I am. And the reason is, did I experience bullying? I did not experience bullying because you cannot go scot-free with me. You can't bully me. It's not possible. Even though you will beat me, even though you are a man or a male and you can beat me, I will stand. I will still stand with you. Therefore, you cannot bully me. But I have seen the damage. I have seen the other side of bullying. Yes, when a child is being bullied in school, it affects them mentally. So that is why I don't tolerate bullying in my class or in any school I am working. And the thing is, I need them to know that bullying is bad. Bullying does not give a good portrait of you. Bullying is ungodly. So you're not God. Another child cannot be acting like a God to another child. No, it is not possible. Because I cannot be seeing you, Esther, now and be afraid and say, because you bully me at all times. Do you know? And I will now be afraid that, I cannot walk properly. No, I am someone that I walk with my shoulder eye. And also, every child that has passed through me, they must walk with their shoulder eye. Do you know why? Because it helps them to learn better. It creates a good atmosphere for the children. So when you are a bully, you cannot even stay in my class. And I remember one meeting they had in my child's school, and when they asked if we have anything to say, I raised my hand and I told them, I said, this is a school where we teach morals, where we teach children how to be modified. And I don't expect that bullying should be allowed in such gathering, because here we are here to learn. This is the school. The children are here to learn. Now, how do you curb bullying in the school? I needed to ask so that I cannot wait to come in. And the fortunate thing, I won't say unfortunate, my daughter seemed to be the only girl. Okay, I think two girls in the classroom. All others are boys. And sometimes the other girl might not be in school, and my daughter will be the one in school. And the boys, because they've seen her as a girl, they want to bully her. And when she talks sometimes, I don't want to keep encouraging her that I can come into the school and fight for her. If I go into that school, they will know, because I will handle it as a professional. But I always try to hold myself back, and I will tell her, I said, you need to stand up for yourself. Number one, you report to the teacher. If that teacher is not doing anything, come and tell me. Because if it in my school where I, as in every place that I've taught, if anyone reports bullying to me, I will handle it immediately with immediate effect. That's what I'll do. I said, so if you have a teacher that you reported to, and the teacher is not attending to that stuff, please just let me know. And she'll say, ah no, they did something. Ah no, she'll tell me that it is being handled correctly. I'll go to that school and I'll meet the owner of the school and I will let her know why a bully should not be allowed in the school. So I'll say this out to every teacher out there that in your class, in your school, you don't tolerate bullying because bullying affects the mental health of children. So this should not be tolerated at all in any school. And for every child that has been bullied one way or the other, you need to stand for yourself because that person is not a god. And that person is not your mother or your father. Because the first question I will ask my child is that person the one paying your school fees? So why can't you talk? Is that person feeding you? Say no. Even I as your mother, do I bully you? You will say no. I said, so that is why you will not keep quiet for the bully to continue bullying you until the effect is bad. I said no. So every teacher out there should attend to a bully case on time. And schools should keep singing it as a song into the ears of the children that bullying is not tolerated in school. In fact, you will see in some schools that it will be pasted at the wall that bullying is not tolerated. No bullying, no trespassing, that wall instruction that is given to people. So bullying should not be tolerated at all.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you still have anything to say. Because we're supposed to round up now.
All right. So let me just in a nutshell. Yeah, being a teacher and a mother can be tasking, like I said earlier on, but in no time you can gain your balance, you can gain your knowledge, and as you do this, you gain more experience. As you do it, as you combine both worlds together, because both are nurturing, both are teaching, both are teaching the children, helping them, modifying them, and helping them to be a better version of themselves. So being a teacher and a mother is actually interesting, fantastic, awesome. It's good because it even help you as a mother and a teacher and help you to know the right thing to do at the right time, the right knowledge to impute in your child, both psychologically, physically, in all areas. It helps you to know how to modify every child around you, even your children. And do you notice something that anywhere they see a teacher, just say, no, this has shown that the mother is a teacher. It's a plus for every mother that is also, that the profession is also a teacher, is a plus. Let's keep it up. The Lord will keep helping us.
Amen. Thank you for calling, ma. Thank you for little children from us.
Aww.
It's Mchukwu
Thank
shower
you.
gels.
Thank
Your body
you.
fresh.
Aww.
So thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He looks yes.